Hello and welcome to the mystery cheese box tasting video. For those who do know me, thank you for supporting us again and buying another mystery artisan cheese box from us that is all British. For those that don't, my name is Perry. I'm the head of cheese at Rennet and Rind. I look after all these cheeses in these glorious rooms, which are our maturation rooms. So I'm controlling temperature, humidity, brushing, turning to get the best out of the 5 cheeses. I only select the best 5 cheeses every month, which is tasting like perfection. And hopefully you guys enjoy them. But what I'm going to do is just walk you through these 5 cheeses, tell you why I think they're special, what they taste of, and you're going to have a little bit of a virtual tasting with me. I'm a world cheese judge, so it's like you're being, taught by a world cheese judge in your own home. So so let's get started, eh? So first cheese up. Take a look at your tasting notes here. We have the order that you need to eat these in, okay? It's very important because certain cheeses do things to other cheeses. Some of them are more gentle, some of them cancel each other out. So yeah, follow these steps. So the first cheese we have up is the remarkable, this one here, Mayfield, made by Allsop and Walker, pasteurized milk. Now, some of you may be looking at this thinking, this is kind of familiar to me. The holes that are in there, the little islets, that's little bacteria that's in there that's breathing out carbon dioxide, pushing on the walls of the cheese, create these holes. Bit like an Emmental, but British. It's a remarkable cheese. It's got a really great colour. This is paler than usual, so it's indicating to me as a maturer that it's just slightly younger profile. There's nothing wrong with that. Age doesn't mean everything. But it's maybe will be more creamy. So let's have a smell. Sweet, nutty, a little bit of bacon there that we're getting. Creamy, buttery. I think I know. I like cheeses like this that I know what it's going to taste like when I pop it in my mouth. So let's crack it a little bit off. Good texture, really pliant, like pop. Good. So let's get in there. So chewy, good texture, coats the palate, dissipates really nicely. Beautiful sweetness. That's sharp. It's borderline that sweet, sharp, nutty, creamy. Our nose wasn't betraying us. A tiny bit of bitterness at the end, which is quite nice, but a very easygoing cheese. If all you guys are sitting around the family table trying my cheese with me, this one may be the one where people are like, this is a little bit too easy for me. It's easy going, but it's important because it's the first cheese that we're trying, and that's what's important about it. Nice, easy beginnings. Really Moorish cheese as well, actually. I just could devour that. If you've got kids at home, I reckon they'll love that. So Mayfield, Allsop and Walker, made down in Sussex by Arthur. Phenomenal cheese. First cheese, done. Next cheese we have is an old favourite of ours, Lincolnshire Poacher, made by the Jones family. We select our own batches at Poacher. Beautiful farm, really nice place. This is unpasteurised, animal rennet, all traditional stuff going on. Slightly a bit of a trick. Everyone thinks that Poacher is a cheddar because it tastes a bit like a cheddar, but it's got some commonality to Alpine style cheeses. The wheys and the curds are a little bit cooked. They're a slightly higher temperature than you would do most cheddars at. The starter cultures, that ingredient that you put in the milk to kind of, make what cheese that you're going to, is a little bit more Alpine-y. And I think the synergy between the Alpine styles for first 2 cheeses will help us out and link them together. So texture, we've got this beautiful yellow color that's coming through that is typical with cheddars. This is aged well. Now, put them together and get your differences. Sweet, nutty, bacony, caramel, tang, grassy. That buttery note is there, which is great. A little bit fruity, kind of exotic fruit, but just ever so slight, but I think that you're about to have a cheddar near the rind, more kind of earthy kind of notes. Let's crack into that, We're seeing those islets appear as well, and that's the commonality with the Alpen style that you've got. More tougher texture, That rigidity has gone that we had in the Mayfield isn't there. The tang is there. Acidity coming through, pineapple, savoury. That's a great note. Really kind of subtly chickeny white meat kind of element. Nice kick of earthiness at the end, and that exotic fruit, that pineapple kind of golden chalice that we're all looking for as maturers to find that, you know? Really great cheese, really great like session cheddar. You know, you can keep on eating that. It's not over powerful, but we stepped up the level again. So we're walking through the kind of powers, you know, stepping it up every time. Next cheese up, one of my favorites, made down in Wiltshire by the lovely Juliana. And one thing we're going to recognize, so visually, that's what we're first inspecting. We can see this beautiful pinky rind that it's got. And that indicates to me that the cheese has been washed. And it indicates that to me because I do wash them myself, so I should know. But whenever you see this, one, the pong, the funkiness, you can't get away from that, and this peachy kind of rind. Now, a lot of you will be saying, like, what is washing cheese? Now, luckily, I've got some cheeses on hand that I need to wash. So this is another cheese, Ashcombe, that needs to be washed, and it's got a slight peachy rind. You might not be able to see that on the camera. And all I do is essentially I make up a brine solution, water and salt. It varies from cheese to cheese. I've got a bucket of that down here, so bear with me. So I wring that out, make sure that it's not full, and then I'm just create small little circular motions on the cheese. All this is promoting good bacterial growth on the outside, creating those good flavors, bacteria that want to break down the cheese on the inside. So I won't do it all here. You don't want to watch me do this, but I just wanted to show you that is what washing cheese is. There's different examples with cloths, with brushes. Each cheese likes a different type of wash. Let me pop that back on there. So that's what washing is. What we can see is this golden interior as well, really golden compared to the other cheeses. This is Jersey cow's milk. Beautiful place in Wiltshire. Really look after their cows. Great milk, phenomenal. So you know with Jerseys, they're higher in solids in their milk. You know, and it's more variable, really difficult to make cheese out of, but when it pays off, it really pays off. And I think, you know, Baronet is becoming one of my fastest favorite cheeses that I lean on in these boxes because it works really well. So smell, right, come on guys, who's the bravest on the table that's currently eating? Funky, pongy, smelly socks. You know, I'm not going to avoid it. The interesting thing about this one is that its bark is far worse than its bite. So we've got a pudginess that's in there, you know, and a little small chalk line in the middle. We want that acidity. Hopefully it comes through because it will expose the flavors of the next cheeses. That's what I was talking about this journey. So let's pop it in. Really good. The rind is interesting because it's got kind of little small, like crystal textured coverings on the outside that's there. One thing that heavily comes through is milk, butter, dairy, grass. A little bit of nutty, but the nutty is not sweet. Where your Alpen, let me find this out, your Alpen style Mayfield has sweet nutty. This is anchored in a kind of bitter nutty. Like if you think of raw peanut butter with no sweetener in, it's got that peanuttiness to it, which is amazing. And a remarkable thing that Baronet has done, I haven't quite worked out why, it really cleanses the palate. We've got a couple of big flavors coming up, and I really like the way this one kind of cleanses you, gets ready. It hasn't got a huge amount of longevity, but the longevity of the note is quite alkaline, quite neutral, which is great. So next cheese up, grape cheese, by the way, really love that. Next cheese up is Berkswell, which it's a sheep's milk cheese. We can tell that. Sorry, I say this fact every time, but you know, if you're new to us, sheep's milk cheese and goat's milk cheese is white because they don't really absorb the colouring that's in grass. They absorb it, sorry, into nutrition, where cows don't. They pass that straight through to their milk. It's got this really cool, unique shape, which is in a disc, which is these here. I moved them over just for the purpose of this, and they come in a really nice dish shape. And we get some really good molds develop on here, not too many on here. And I brush these and wash these to try and promote that mold growth, which would be really great. So yeah, that's the shape they come in. Texture, now as you're cutting through this, you'll notice it's slightly granular. There's a lot of age there that's happening there. And that's because it's like a particular style, like a Manchego or a, you know, Parmesan style kind of cheese. So, you know, it's got that, an amazing freshness in this cheese as it's cut. If you give it a sniff, it's kind of lemon forward, actually, which is quite nice. There's some complex notes at the back there that are happening, but the overarching that I'm getting is this lemoniness, which would be quite nice. Let's pop it in. Texture is delicious. Texture is dry, and it makes your palate work a little bit. That dryness that comes through, that acidity that's there. Beautiful, balanced, peppery spiciness at the back that's coming from the sheep. A bit of farmyard that's in there. Bundles of savory notes that are in there, which is just stunning. That lemony is still bubbling around. A slight element of floral in there as well. That's a really great cheese. Really great cheese, Berkswell. That'd be really nice with a glass of wine, a refreshing wine that can come to the rescue and help that palate, you know, from that dryness. And that dryness isn't a bad thing. It's a different textural difference that we're getting. We've had lots of buttery cheeses, and that's a nice difference to get. Cracking cheese, Berkswell, really great. Next cheese up is one of our own. It's the Duke, one of the favorites of people. You know, it's made in a similar style, kind of to replicate the Gorgonzola styles that we have around the world, but obviously British. It's got this really interesting rind, which is a little bit kind of slimy, to be honest. And then on the interior, we've got that beautiful breakdown on the outside and a little bit of chalkiness on the middle, which is great. Yeah, we've been doing this cheese for over about 5 years now. The good news is for lovers who love our Duke, we soon will be starting production again on the Duchess, which is a Alpine style cheese washed in sparkling rosé, and everyone tends to love that. But for now, it's the Duke and it's up. So let's have a smell. Typical blue notes we're getting there. That digestive note that's there. You know, this cheese is kind of anchored in the area of bitterness. It doesn't pander to the blue lovers as much. You know, it's very Marmite, 50-50 if people will love it or hate it, which is what we want. You know, we want something that challenges us a bit every now and again. But that penicillium kind of area, bitterness, is present in this cheese. Really great texture, nice and sticky. Let's give it a go. Cream rushes in, sour rushes in as well. Bitterness in the back. That cream, the texture of it helps it out. That freshness comes in, wants you to have more. That salty back note is there. Really palatable and easy. As it dissipates, you're getting some nice savory notes, very beefy. That's beautiful. It's so delicate. For a cheese that looks quite dense, it's amazing how quickly that dissipates on the palate and evolves. Fantastic. The Duke. And you're out of cheeses, but hopefully, you know, I'm out of cheeses. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you for supporting Rennet and Rind and myself, Perry, on our journey for supporting British artisan cheeses. Like the video, come check us out online on our website. We'd really appreciate it. And yeah, hope you guys all enjoy. Have a great October, right? Christmas is right around the corner. Oh, and boy, I've got something really prepared special for our Christmas edition mystery cheese boxes. Check it out online, going live at the back end of this month. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.